Hi folks, Charlie Shelton with Disneyland News Today, back once again to try some tasty treats. We are here at Disney California Adventure for the Festival of Holidays. All the food booths have opened today, so we're going to go around and try everything that's new. We have a lot of returning items, but we also have a lot that's new. So join us as we see the best of the fest. Alrighty, so first stop of the day, we are over here at a Twist on Tradition, which has tempting twists on holiday classics. We've got a couple of items that we're going to be trying here. The first up is the curry mac and cheese. This comes with cilantro oil and crispy garbanzos. To be honest, they look a little bit like seasoned Cocoa Puffs, and that's kind of what I was expecting. But I'm sure garbanzos will go better than Cocoa Puffs. All right, let's try it. Wow. That's so good. Wow. All right. So I think it was the, can't remember if it was Christmas last year or the food festival. Right in this area, they did the peanut butter and jelly mac and cheese, and it kind of split the road. So I thought this was going to be the splitting the pack dish, but like, I don't think there's going to be anybody who won't like this. This is great. I hate cilantro, and I love this. The cilantro oil is definitely needed and fantastic. Wow, that's good. The curry is very subtle. It's very subtle and it works within the creamy cheese sauce. It does have a tiny kick of heat to it, but nothing overpowering. It's not like you can't give this to a kid, you know, it is just a tiny little kick. The cilantro oil, I was fully expecting to dislike, but it kind of cuts that herbal edge that tastes like a swamp when you eat cilantro. It kind of cuts that character away from it and just brings the greens and the freshness to it, which complements well with the thick, creamy, cheesy sauce and the heavily spiced curry. Let's try one of the garbanzos just on their own. The garbanzos are good. They bring a crunch and a bit of spice. There is a little bit of heat. I think maybe that's where the heat is coming from more than the mac and cheese itself. But I don't know that I need them. Like, it doesn't bring enough. It brings a nice tactile character to it, but it doesn't bring enough to where I'm like, it really needs this flavor-wise. So, but overall, boy, that's great. It's a little too early to call favorite of the festival, but it's my favorite so far out of the one dish I've had. Alrighty, so next up is the guava melon lassi? Not sure how you pronounce it. It's guava nectar, rock melon syrup, non-fat yogurt, and honey with cinnamon whipped cream and honey-flavored cereal, which is just honeycomb, honey grams, whatever. Let's try this cinnamon whipped cream first on its own. Ooh. Oh, that's good. Wow. Usually when they say it's like a flavored whipped cream, it's just a whipped cream, maybe with a little bit of color, but like this one, you really do get the cinnamon flavor coming through. It's not spicy or anything, it's very sweet and nice. Wow, that's good. All right, well, this is a winner so far. Let's try this drink. That's interesting. I like that. That's very fruity and very light. It's creamy. The guava, I think, is a subtle enough flavor where it's not smacking you in the face with anything. It's still, you know, tropical. It's still light and fun, but it's not like so intense. Like, I wouldn't necessarily want something, you know, so fruit forward that it's overpowering to the rest of the drink. It works really well with the creaminess and the cinnamon whipped cream. That mixes in very well just here at the top. Boy, that's good. Oh man, and it's non-alcoholic, so you can drink as many of them as you want and still drive home. And to be honest, I don't think it needs alcohol in it. Like, it's good as it is. Any alcohol would just kind of give that burn, that bite to it that I don't think it really needs. So that's really good. All right, so far, a twist on tradition has been fantastic. Those are both of the items we're going to be trying from here. And it is also right next door to another booth, Visions of Sugarplums. So we have a few things coming from Visions of Sugarplums this year. First up, we're going to start with the dessert. This is the chocolate bourbon flavored tart made with Twix cookie bar pieces. layers of caramel and chocolate bourbon flavored mousse with Twix. So I wouldn't think I would rush out the door to go have a Twix pie, but you know, it seems like it's only part of the overall chocolate bourbon flavored tart. So let's give it a shot. Oh, that's so soft. That's good. It's not super heavily bourbon. The chocolate's really good. It's really prevalent. And I get the little bit of bourbon kind of alcohol characteristic to it. You know, not alcohol bite, but like alcohol flavor to it. But it's definitely not predominant. Like, it's mostly chocolate that also has just that touch, a hint of the little bourbon in there. But the chocolate, the little pie, the tart, is just so delicate and soft. It's wonderful. Whoop. And there's a layer of caramel on the bottom here, which is also soft and wonderful. This is great. I feel like this is almost what Twix wants to be, but it's not quite there because it's just like a cookie. This is like a dressed up, better version of a Twix. That's spectacular. All right, well, I could eat the whole thing, but I have a long way to go. The only other things we have here are drinks. So, first up, we have the Cranberry Chai Pisco Punch. I always like Pisco. This is South American brandy, cranberry and lemon juices with cranberry and chai syrups, garnished with a lemon wheel. So that's what this is right here. It's very red, and the red and the lemon is a very nice picture for Instagram. I did not know that Pisco was a South American brandy. I've always just kind of had it as Pisco in the same way, like, you know, you just know what a liqueur is. Like, I've always just kind of known that, like, oh, that's Pisco. That's what, like cachaça. It's just a flavor, you know? So that's interesting to know, a South American brandy. But then the cranberry and lemon and all that, this is a very cranberry drink. Let's give it a shot. That's good. Oh, the Pisco's really good. The Pisco works with that really well. That's nice. I don't think I'm over the moon about it. Yeah, it's good. It's what it needs to be. I'm satisfied with it, but I just don't think I'm like losing my mind over it. But it's definitely good. And this is something I could see walking around the park with. It's light and it's fruity. The lemon definitely helps to cut some of that sweetness, which I think it really needs. But that Pisco is the right choice, and you very rarely get to see that at big events like this. So having something that's a little bit off the beaten path is really nice. That's good, but not my favorite. Of the two, I still think I like the guava drink from A Twist on Tradition a little bit better, just because it's a little more unique. All right, our last drink here is the Piña Hibiscus Mezcal Mule. When I saw this on the menu, I knew this was going to be my downfall, because anything mezcal I'm all about. You throw pineapple in there, and that makes it even better. This is going to be where all of my paychecks are going for the foreseeable future. This is mezcal, pineapple, ginger, lemon puree, pineapple and lemon juices, hibiscus syrup, and ginger beer garnished with a pineapple wheel. And it is bright purple, which is awesome. Let's try it. Oh, get out of here. What? Oh man. I got goosebumps. Look at this. That's so good. Okay, so the Pisco Punch is like, it's good, but you know, I'm not gonna lose my mind over it. This is something I could see getting every single time I'm in the park. This is great. It's smoky. It's sweet. The ginger isn't so overly present that it, you know, cancels everything out, because if you don't get the mix on a ginger or on a mule just right, it's just a glass of ginger beer. This one is mixed just perfectly. Wow, that is really good. And the mezcal in the mule, like, what a choice, you know? The Pisco was a unique choice, and mezcal in this mule is a really unique choice I would not have expected to see. I was really looking forward to this, and it exceeded my already high expectations. So that's fantastic. I gotta say, we're only 2 booths in, and this is already shaping up to be one of the best Festival of Holidays that we've had in recent memory. All right, so our next stop at this table before we move on is another booth called Holiday Duets. Here we have 3 items. We're gonna start with our Southern mac and cheese. This is Cajun style mac and cheese with andouille sausage and panko crunch. So it looks a little less appetizing than the curry mac and cheese, but I'm going into it with an open mind. It's got a bit more spice to it. Eh. Oh wait, I didn't hear you. Yeah. That tastes like someone accidentally spilled Cajun seasoning into their mac and cheese, whereas the curry mac, like, it worked together, and you can see how, like, the cheese changed a little bit to compensate for the curry, and, like, the flavors melded really well. This one is more like just kind of generic Cajun flavored seasoning, like a not even like a good like Tony Cachere, like just a generic blend of Cajun seasoning from McCormick and Schmick, something like that, and like dumped on the mac. It's not unpleasant, it's just not as good as like mac and cheese would be, you know, like. And it's I don't know if I have one that's been sitting for a while or whatever, but like it's all baked in, and the sausage seems a little dried out and oily. Like there's so much oil in here. Look at this. You can see it through the bottom. Look at how much oil is in here. It's just not, you know, it's not the best mac and cheese that I've had at the festival. And there's other really good mac and cheese available at the Cozy Cone. So like this one's kind of a letdown, but you know, you win some, you lose some. All right, we're gonna move on to the drinks. First up is our non-alcoholic one, the Ceylon Splash. This is Joffrey's Coffee and Tea Ceylon Black Tea, passion fruit juice, coconut syrup, calamansi puree garnished with an edible purple orchid. So this location last year had a calamansi lemonade that was spectacular, so I'm glad to see it back. And it is just beautiful. It's very tropical looking. Oh, wow. That tastes like Christmas. That's weird. It's a little waterier than I would expect, but it's like triggering a memory of Christmas in my childhood home. You know what I think it is? It's like the citrus of it, like the citrus and the tea together. You know, you get the like mandarin oranges at Christmas, and it's more like that. I'm kind of losing the coconut and the passion fruit. It's all so subtle. Like it's in there. It's just so subtle. It's not really bringing a tropical thing. It's mostly tart and tea. But I mean, it's pleasant. I think if I think of it more of as a tea than as a juice, the wateriness makes sense. And it is a Ceylon Splash, so it's like tea with juice in it rather than a juice drink that has tea. So if you think about it like that, it's a little bit better and a little more on character. Yeah, it's just citrus. That is so weird. It's enjoyable. It's just not spectacular and not my favorite. All right, last up is the Huckleberry Sake Sangria. This is Merlot wine, sake, huckleberry syrup, orange juice, and cinnamon syrup, topped with sparkling water and garnished with an orange wheel. Kind of don't want the sparkling water. Like, I don't want you to water down all those awesome ingredients. I don't want it necessarily to be sparkling, but we'll see. Oh, wow, that's really rich red fruits. Not overly sweet, but it presents a lot of those sweet flavors without a lot of the like sugary sweetness. That's nice. I'm getting mostly the Merlot and almost like, I guess it's gotta be the cinnamon syrup. Yeah, because it's like spices. It's almost like a mulled wine. Like this is a lighter, more Southern California version of a mulled wine, where you get that rich red fruits, the deep red texture of the wine, But then a little bit of fun on top of it with the cinnamon syrup, and the sake has a little bit of that alcohol bite from the rice wine that kind of brings it in. I don't know that I'm necessarily getting a lot of huckleberry, probably just because it's lost in the red wine. Like it just feels like part of the red wine because it's so close. But yeah, that's really fun. So if I had a choice between this and like a glass of wine over at Sonoma Terrace, this is a nice alternative. I would put this on par with something you would get over there. Well, that's nice. I'm looking forward to walking around with that in a little bit. All right, let's head to the next booth. All right, so here we are at our next stop, Winter Sliderland. We have a couple of sliders here as well as a couple of drinks. So let's jump in. First up is our holiday ham slider. This has cranberry bacon jam and Gruyere on a salt and pepper brioche bun. So I like the little sliders. I think they're kind of cute. There's a hefty amount of ham on here, and let's see. Wow. There's a lot of different pork flavors going on in that one. The bacon is very prevalent throughout, and the ham, there's a lot of ham. Look at how much ham there is. It's a slider, but like, come on, that's so much. So I can't complain about the value within the sandwich. It's just very, very meat forward. Yeah, the Gruyere is in there, but it's a little lost. Like, there's so much ham and then bacon in the jam. I'm kind of losing the cranberry aspect of the cranberry jam, and I completely lost the Gruyere. It's good if you're in the mood for like a big lump of pork, which, I often am. Then it's really good. I think there's something else here. There's like an herb something. Oh, rosemary. There's little bits of rosemary all the way through. That's what it is. That's the only other flavor that I'm really getting beyond the pork is that herbaceousness of whatever that herb spread is, and I'm not really sure what that is. But yeah, that's really interesting. I don't know if I'm 100% a fan of it, just because it is a kind of a one-note song with the just like, hey, ham. But I feel like there could be a little bit more, a little bit different, something else. Let me try just a little bit of this jam on its own. Yeah, the bacon is so strong in that jam. I'm not getting much of the cranberry. And, I feel like it could be a little more. There's nothing wrong with what it is. I just feel like it could be a little bit more with the addition of another flavor or texture or something to mix and match and make it a little more complex. Let's go on to our next slider. This is the brisket slider. This has smoked onions and horseradish ketchup on a pretzel roll. So this looks nuts. It looks nuts. But again, a big wad of shaved brisket, and the ketchup is very prevalent. Let's try it. Wow, that's good. So the brisket's a little more dry than I would expect, or than I would want. But that kind of shaved, like, Missouri style barbecue, it's just several strips all bound up together. But it's the ketchup offsets it and gives it a little more life and a little more moisture that I think it needs. And then also, of course, the onions. Let's see if I can just get some of these onions here. Oh, those onions are perfect. And they're very peppery. There's a lot of spices or like black pepper spice flavor, a big spice component coming from that. That's really good. I mean, the bun is completely destroyed. It's just soggy, all gone. But the pretzel, the edge of the pretzel, you know, the outer rind holds together really well. So I think it works overall as a dish, and the flavor's just fantastic. Whereas the holiday ham one has, you know, kind of a one-note song, this one's got a lot going on with it. And so that's what we've seen at some of the other booths here, is like some of it is really complex and some of the other stuff is a little more mundane. This is the more complex one, and this is way more interesting to eat and just a better flavor overall, I think. I enjoyed that. That's nice. All right, so we have a couple of drinks here. First up, we have the Cherry Mango Punch. This is cherry syrup, mango and peach nectars, and lemon juice, garnished with a frozen peach. So that's this one here, very peachy looking. I didn't think to grab a straw, so I'm just gonna dive in. Almost. You know, I see what they're going for. It just seems like there's too many cooks in the kitchen. There's too many flavors trying to raise their heads up above everything, and I'm kind of losing them all in the cacophony. Yeah, it's fine. But it just kind of tastes like fruit punch at this point. Like it's just fruit flavored because none of them are standout. It's not like there's like a cherry drink with compliments of mango. It's just everybody yelling at you all at once. So it's a little busy. It's not as sweet as I thought it would be, which is a good thing because I feel like that would just be a sugar bomb, but it's actually well balanced, you know, on the sweet end of things. So, you know, it's not terrible. It's just, I think could be a little bit better if they had just picked a lane. Our last thing here is the tiramisu Yule log cocktail. This is vodka, hazelnut liqueur, oat milk, tiramisu syrup, and chocolate bitters, garnished with Valrhona chocolate powder. All right, so there it is. And there's definitely a lot of chocolate powder on top there. This is a good looking cocktail. Let's try it right here. I'm gonna do the same thing as I did last time and stir it up ahead of time should have got a straw. Get some of that Valrhona chocolate mixed in there. That tastes like a chocolatey or more festive version of a White Russian. Yeah, that just kind of tastes like a White Russian. Just like it does have extra chocolate and I guess a little added creaminess. Yeah, the hazelnut liqueur, the oat milk, I guess. Yeah, it's just kind of a White Russian. It's not really anything standout. It's not bad, but like if you're in the mood for a White Russian, where are you going to go? You can't really order those from a cart here at DCA. So this is a White Russian that you can get from a cart. So, you know, with everything else, I think, especially not only with the sugar and the space in my stomach, but with the alcohol, I don't want to spend a whole lot of my time and energy on that one because there are so many other things to eat and drink here that are over the top great. And this one's just like, I can make this at home pretty much, you know, like it's a slight twist, but like the flavor profile, I can pretty much get at home with a White Russian. So, you know, that's a little mundane for what I'm in for today for the festive flavors. So our next booth is right next door. This is Grandma's Recipes. So we have several things to try here. We are going to start with the Impossible Meatloaf. This is just meatloaf made with impossible meat and comes with classic gravy, mashed potatoes, and crispy shallots. And luckily we got an end piece, which as everybody knows is the superior piece of meatloaf in any loaf. I am looking forward to this one a lot. I eat a lot of impossible meat in my outside of YouTube life. And so I've never had it as a meatloaf. I've always kind of, like, I think a burger is as meaty as I've gone with this. So let's try it. Wow, that's dense. The flavor is good. The flavor is perfect. It's spot on, but that texture, man, that is almost chewy. Whoa. The flavor is great though. That really, like, it is impossible to tell whether it's meat or not. Yeah, that's really thick, really, we'll say hearty. That's really hearty meatloaf. Whoa. But as I said, the flavor is great. If you can get past that power bar texture, boy, the flavor is great. Let's try these mashed potatoes. Those mashed potatoes are really good. Those are really good mashed potatoes. Wow. Oh, they're just like normal mashed potatoes, but wow, those are really good. They're not quite garlicky mashed potatoes, but there's something else to it that I just can't quite place. And with the shallots, they're just set off. Well, the flavors in here are incredible. The texture on the meatloaf is a lot to handle, but the flavors on everything is just great. All right, so moving on. Next up is the dessert. This is the layered pumpkin cheesecake. It is layers of New York style cheesecake, pumpkin gooey cake, and graham cracker topped with spiced chantilly and a chocolate decoration. I don't think we got the chocolate decoration, but we got some festive sprinkles. So I'm sure it'll taste just the same. The festive decoration is usually like white chocolate, and I'm never a fan of it, so. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That's gorgeous. In fact, let me show you what I'm looking at in here. So you can see the layers all the way through in the cheesecake itself, with cheesecake on the bottom and then the pumpkin gooey cheesecake on top. So it's not like layers of, it's just 3 layers. Graham cracker crust, New York cheesecake, pumpkin gooey cheesecake. So here we go. Oh, wow. So the pumpkin gooey cake is like pumpkin pie. So it's like a pumpkin pie on top of your graham cracker crust and your cheesecake. That's great. I mean, it's kind of like it's not wrong. It's a pumpkin pie layered on top of a cheesecake. So it is a pumpkin layered cheesecake. I don't know. I think I was kind of expecting more of like layer on top of layer, but you know, that spiced chantilly is nice. That's really good. That's like a traditional flavor. You know, you want a pumpkin pie or something, that's going to be your traditional pumpkin pie flavor right there. That's really nice. I like that a lot. All right, so let's move on to the drinks. We have the blood orange palm limeade. This is pomegranate and lime juices and cookie butter and blood orange syrups garnished with a lime wheel. So that's this right here. And stir that up a little bit. Let's give it a shot. Oh, that's fun. That's tart. That's nice. It's limeade, so it's like, you know, lime is the prevalent flavor, which is good because, like, in a lot of lemonades you lose the lemon aspect and it's just like sweet and yellow flavored. This one you really taste the lime, and I think that's nice. I don't get a lot of the cookie butter syrup, which is a little bit of a strange choice, but the blood orange comes through really nice. Gives it kind of a less tart and more fruit-centered flavor. That's really good, but I don't think it's the best non-alcoholic drink I've had so far. I think there are others that are better. Like, it's good. It's just nothing that really blows me away. Last one for this booth here at Grandma's is the hummingbird cocktail. This is bourbon, creme de banana liqueur, pineapple juice, banana puree, butter pecan syrup, cinnamon sugar, demerara sugar, and vanilla bean garnished with a pineapple wedge. This one definitely has the most going on, and Grandma must have been a fan of tiki bars because this is like a tiki cocktail if ever there was one. It's a bourbon-based tiki cocktail, no rum. All right, let's try it. Wow. Yeah, that's great. That's really, I mean, it's a toss-up between that and the mezcal as to which one I'm gonna get every single time I'm in the park until this festival is over. But that's really great. My compliments to Grandma. I like this recipe. The banana comes through and the pineapple. It really is like a banana pineapple drink. I don't get any of the bourbon really, and the only spice coming from like the butter pecan syrup, I guess. But even at that, it's kind of lost. It just brings like a sweet cooked roundness to it, but not anything that's really like, you know, butter pecan like a cookie or something, you know. It's just kind of in the background. Boy, that's good though. That's really fruity, but not like citrusy fruity. It's like the creamy fruity end of things. That's nice. I like that one a lot. All right, well, this one was a hit. Let's go on to the next one. All right, so next up is the booth Making Spirits Bright, and we are getting Santa's Milk and Cookies Hot Cocoa. This is inspired by the Disney Plus series The Santa Clauses. It's whole milk with flavors of cookies and cream and white chocolate topped with flavored whipped cream. So comes in a traditional hot cup. Not much to look at on the outside, but you can really smell it before you even drink it. Let's try. Oh, wow. My goodness. That's perfect. That's like, how have they not served this in the park before? This is amazing. It's so, I mean, it's overly sweet. It's very, very sweet, but it works, you know. It does taste like milk and cookies. Wow, that's good. And it doesn't taste too artificial, you know, like a lot of times when it's like milk and cookie flavored things, you have like a cookie flavored whatever and it just tastes like a chemical. This one, I think because it's like the whole milk that's just steamed instead of like cocoa with, then we have to overcome that chocolatiness with something else. It's just subtle enough. Like it's all, you know, one flavor mixed in with the warm milk. That's really good. That is really good. Really sweet, but boy, that's good. When the sun goes down and you're standing here waiting to watch the holiday world of color, that's what you should reach for. That's spectacular. All right, well, I'm gonna come back for that again later once it gets dark. All right, next up is Merry Mashups. And here we have something I'm very much looking forward to, the turkey poutine. This is layers of roasted turkey, sweet potato bites, cheese curds and gravy, topped with frosted cranberries. So this looks like a lot. I'm jazzed about it, but like you can't look at cheese curds that are falling apart in gravy and be like, that looks appetizing, but it totally is. So it looks a little strange, but let's give it a shot. Here, I want to get a little bit of everything, even a cranberry. All right. Come on. Get out of here. That's amazing. Wow. Those sweet potatoes are perfect. Oh, and the turkey, this is the first, it's so early in the season, I haven't had like a roast turkey yet, so this is my first for the season. That's amazing. This is a great switch up from a normal poutine. This is great. I'm enjoying this a lot. You know what it is? Each of the individual components of this is really good, really well done. So it's not like, oh, well, it hangs together well. Like each of the things that's in it is really well done. And then to bring them all together just makes for an even better dish. These sweet potato bites are just unreal. They're wonderful. They're like tater tots, a little bit softer than tater tots. They're not quite so crispy because they've been doused in gravy. But like that sweetness that it brings is just amazing. This is great. All right, well, moving on. That was awesome. Next up is the spicy apple cider margarita. This is reposado tequila, apple cider, house-made ghost pepper cinnamon syrup, raspberry syrup, and lime juice, garnished with an apple chip. So, you know, ghost pepper, it's a hit or miss. I'm hoping it's going to be a little spicy. I kind of want it to be spicy. Let's try it. Oh, that is a little spicy. That scared me a little bit. Wow, that is considerably spicier than I was expecting it to be. Let me stir that up. Maybe it was like all on top. I think I probably just got like a mouthful of syrup, and so it hit me too hard all at once. Let's try again. Okay, that's much more subdued. I got a mouthful of the ghost pepper syrup all at once, and that was a lot. Like, it's still spicy. I still feel a little bit of a burn in the back of my throat, but it's not like that panic feeling you get when something's unexpectedly way more spicy than you think it's going to be. That's still pretty spicy, though. And that, it's that kind of spice where it's only at the back of your throat. It doesn't affect your tongue, so it's not like burning out my taste buds. I can still taste all the little intricacies of it, and it is very complex. It's more than just apple. Like, I don't get a lot of the tequila bite, which is nice, but I get some of that tequila sweetness, some of that flavor. But that cinnamon comes through really well. So it's like an apple cinnamon margarita that also has a bunch of spice behind it. It's really interesting. And if you don't get a mouthful of, you know, ghost pepper syrup on your first swig, it's great. And like, once I mix it up, I enjoy this a lot. Still, I don't know if it's the best cocktail here available at the festival, but it's the best I've had on this side so far. You know, one side versus the other. It's the best on this half of the festival, to be sure. So this is great. I'm definitely going to be finishing this. All right, we have another booth to get to. Let's go. Alrighty, so last stop for our Festival of the Holidays booths is Favorite Things. We're starting off with chicken tikka masala. This is served with cardamom basmati rice. So, here we go. I'm looking forward to this. So, see, it says chicken tikka masala with cardamom basmati rice, but there's a lot going on here. I've got like croutons on top here. I imagine it's like non-croutons. There's some sort of cream here. Let's see what that is. I have no idea. It's like a sour cream or something. All right, let's try this. Whoa. That's so fragrant. That's so nice. I don't get a lot of cardamom out of the rice, but to be honest, it's covered in masala, so it's like hard to tell. Let's see. A little bit, I guess. I get a little bit. This is just like, it's very spiced. It's very overall spiced. It's got the classic masala flavor to it, so it's kind of hard to pick anything out, like to tell how the chicken is inside of it. Like it's all kind of running together as that unique chicken tikka masala flavor. But it's good. It's a little spicier than I think I was expecting, but like I want it to be a little spicy. And so I just wasn't expecting that from this kind of a food festival here at Disneyland, or DCA. Yeah, these croutons I think are just like crisp naan. I enjoy this a lot. It's not, like, saying it's simple is the wrong thing, but like it's just a good solid flavor. It's a good solid traditional food that is really hitting the spot. Yeah, I enjoy that one a lot. Like that's comfort food. That's just straight comfort food. I love that. All right. So we've got a couple of drinks here. We have a cold brew. This is the churro toffee cold brew latte. Joffrey's Coffee and Tea, Mexican coffee, demerara sugar, cinnamon sugar, vanilla bean, almond milk, garnished with churro syrup, whipped cream, and chocolate toffee crumbles. Got a lot going on in this one. So there's no shortage of delicious cold brew drinks available here at the Disneyland Resort. And it's very rare that I don't enjoy them. So I kind of expect this to be really good. Yep, that's really good. Oh, that's cinnamon. The coffee isn't super duper strong. You know, like it's kind of lost within the cream and everything else. So it's not like, bam, roasty coffee. But it's still present enough. I hate when I lose it all together. This is still present enough. And I think the other flavors that they've chosen to include within this work well with that roasty coffee flavor. So I think that's why it still stays through, because they complement each other. You know, it's not like caramel apple or something like they've done at Halloween where it's like, that doesn't really go with coffee. These things all kind of fit together. They're all in the same neighborhood. Yeah, there's something I can't place my finger on. Maybe it's the churro syrup. Like I imagine that would just be like cinnamon sugar syrup, but like there's something about it. There's some characteristic in there that's like an extra, tastes almost like a pastry. So that's why I'm thinking it's the churro. Like it's got like a breadiness to it that's really pleasant. All right, well, we have the same thing, but done up as a cocktail. This is the toffee cold brew latte cocktail, which is all the same stuff with coffee liqueur. So just adding a little coffee liqueur into this other one. I already liked the base drink, so let's see how the coffee liqueur sets it off. Oh, yeah. So the coffee liqueur comes through very strongly. Again, the flavors work well together, but it does have that like Kahlua tang to it to make it that much different. I don't want to say better. I think I might actually like it without the coffee liqueur better, just because it's a little more streamlined. You know, this one, like, you have that extra stopover with the liqueur flavor kind of distracts you from the other things. The non-alcoholic version is complex and wonderful. I don't know that it necessarily can be improved from there. It's good though, like it's good both times. It's just a matter of, do you want that extra coffee liqueur kick? So yeah, I like that a lot. You know, it's rare that I don't like a cold brew from Disneyland though, so I wasn't expecting to dislike it. So our last item here is the macaron. This is Mrs. Claus's hot cocoa macaron. It is inspired by the Disney Plus series, The Santa Clauses. It's a red macaron filled with chocolate hot cocoa filling and ganache, finished with a chocolate decoration. And we did get a chocolate decoration this time. It's promoting the new series coming to Disney Plus. And it's got little gold sparkles on it too, which is really super cute. Now I know, I'm glad I shot this earlier to show you guys what it looked like all pristine, because I know the second I touch it, it's gonna fall apart, because they're just, yep, there it goes. The bottom of it completely fell off. Yep, there it is. Oh, jeez. Come on. Almost. Almost. It's a lot. It's very chocolatey. I don't know if it's like, there's like a cream cheese tang to it that I wasn't expecting, and I don't think it needs. I'm trying to see what that might be. So we have our chocolate ganache all the way down here on the inside. In the very center of it, you can see right there. You can see our chocolate ganache there in the center, surrounded by the hot cocoa filling. So let's try the chocolate. Wow. That is thick. Whoa. That's amazing. So the chocolate in the very center is great. It's the chocolate hot cocoa filling around the ganache that has that cream cheese tang flavor to it. And I don't think that quite fits with this. If it was a little bit lighter and maybe not so chocolate focused, it would probably be a little bit better. But as it stands, it's not bad. It's just a little, it's almost there. You know, it's just one little thing off. It's not my favorite dessert, but it's also not terrible. There are better macarons, I think, at Disneyland than this one. But, you know, for the festival, it's very cute. It's very Instagrammable. And if you're that excited for the Santa Clauses, then it's worth it, I guess. Alrighty, so that's everything. That's all of the booths. Looking back over everything, if I had to pick a favorite, I mean, we started really strong with the curry mac and cheese. That was really good. I think that might be my favorite so far. I mean, honorable mention goes to the turkey poutine, just because that's full of so many flavors of the season. I really enjoyed that. And so far as the best drink of the festival, I really enjoyed the margarita, the spiced apple margarita, but I think the Piña Hibiscus Mezcal Mule was really something special. That one was that one's my favorite drink, not just of this festival, but of a lot of the festivals. That's the best one I've had in a long time. So, best drink, Piña Hibiscus. Best food is the curry mac, and I can't wait to see what else Disneyland has in store. There also is the Flavors of Wakanda booth, which we didn't include within this video, but we do have a video of that on its own. So if you haven't seen that, please go take a look at it on our YouTube channel. I'll link that right here. And that has a bunch of other flavors of the season that's a little more African inspired, and those were really enjoyable as well. So thank you so much for stopping by. If you enjoyed the video, please let us know in the comments down below. We'll see you next time.